And welcome back to Electroculture. This is Dan speaking, and today's video is going to be talking about more electroculture stuff. So I ran a separate ground up into my room upstairs. You can see this dedicated 6-gauge green ground wire. It's stranded, and I've got it touching ground, a couple different spots here. But you see how I wrapped the coil around a wheel here, and down here it looks like somebody pulled up the ground, but it was still connected to this small wire that goes down into the earth ground. This stake on this wheel here is about 6 feet long, so it's pretty much like 5.5 feet down into the earth ground there. But see the capacitor plates? I use some CDs and like a Coca-Cola can to help cut it up with sharp corners and points, because electrostatic energy and electromagnetics are naturally drawn to those kind of geometries. The sharper, the pointier, the more it's going to be drawn into it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it in and bond it to this fence here. I'm going to clean off a little surface area here and get a real nice ground going. And I'm going to drive an additional stake down into the earth and really make sure that got a good ground. I could either drive it into the earth itself, which I got a little bit of slack on here, but I think I'm going to make sure I bond it down here, maybe down low, to the actual fence itself, because if I get it on the galvanized part, I get a better connection. There's a rusty tension wire right here that holds this fence together, but that's obviously an iron component, so why don't I just stick it on the galvanized, so I know that I just got a little bit of oxide I had to scrape off there, and I'll get myself a good bond. Pull some of these weeds out of the way. Mylar down here, all kinds of stuff. All right. And the fence line is a good way to make sure that, we have a good ground, because these fence posts right here, they go into the earth about 3 feet, and there's concrete that's poured in place, but I've put some rocks around this fence post to act as natural energy amplifiers as well. And the way that rocks work as amplifiers is, a lot of these rocks have crystalline quartz in them. You see the geometry, you see the quartz and the crystals, so that it forms a crystal lattice inside of the rock. So it makes it more of an anitropic material instead of isotropic material. What that means is, isotropic materials tend to follow Ohm's law. In other words, the electrons flow from the negative most potential to the positive potential, and anitropic materials such as crystal lattices and so forth, the current and the charged particles themselves travel different paths. In other words, they kind of take the path that they want, not necessarily the lowest ohmic or the lowest resistance like isotropic. So anytime you can, the bigger the rocks, the sharper the points on them, the better the effect on natural amplification. So I've got this bond here. I guess I could clean that up and just attach it to this fence line here. That'd be a good idea. So why don't I get started on that?